So last night was a bit of an interesting night when it comes down to it for WNBA games, and there is something that I'm noticing. I'm noticing it more and more, and I do feel like I want to talk about it. And it's that there are two players in the WNBA that are not allowed to even have mediocre games. Like Angel Reese was really good yesterday. Like she was really, really good, and crickets. Angel Reese was not great in game one, but had 4 points in the last 3 minutes of the game and had a game-tying steal into a layup. She stole the ball and ran a fast break layup and got the game-winning block. So this is a player who didn't play well, but basically came out and won her team the game in the last few minutes. And everything is about how bad a game she had. But there are 3 quote-unquote MVP candidates and 1 quote-unquote star guard, who, by the way, I cannot stress this enough, sorry, not Paige. Rhyne Howard shooting 3 of 14 is normal. Like, that is extremely common for Rhyne Howard. Right? I don't understand how Rhyne Howard, as anything other than an inefficient shot chucker, became the narrative. Because for her career, Rhyne Howard is a 33% three-point shooter. She shot 32% last year, which is a decent chunk lower than what Caitlin Clark shot as a rookie. And if you look at her percentages, they're wild. Like 2 of 8, 0 of 4, 4 of 10 in the playoffs. So in the playoffs, she shot 6 of 22 from 3. She shot 6 of 22 from 3 in the playoffs. 9 of 17 game. A 1 of 10, 2 of 10, 2 of 11. She went on a 3-game spell where she shot 5 of 31. And I understand, obviously, Caitlin Clark went through that spell when she got hurt last year. She absolutely did. But, like, Caitlin Clark went through, what was it, like a 3 of 30? That was the one time in her career she's done that. Like, 1 of 12 over 2 games here. 3 of 14. 1 of 10, 1 of 8. Like, these happen 10, 15 times a year. A 1 of 9 three-point game happens probably 1 of every 3 to 4 games for Rhyne Howard. This is normal. I don't understand why people are talking about that. But this is what I mean. People don't watch basketball. People are like, "Oh, this was not one of it was. This was wasn't that bad a game from Paige. She shot 41% from the field. Look at her true shooting percentage, 56%." Well, yeah, she shot while the other team was expecting her to dribble the clock out. She caught a rebound down 10 or down 8 and sprinted down the floor to make sure she could get a wide open shot up, while the Liberty did not run back and play defense on her. Up to that point, she was 1 of 3 from 3 and 4 of 11 from the field. Okay, cool. She made a garbage time 3. Therefore, you know the efficiency numbers. The efficiency is good. Her true shooting percentage is 56. Paige Bueckers, yesterday, cared more about not missing than she cared about winning the game. It is as simple as that. She cared more about not missing, shots than she did about winning. I'm not even going to say it was about efficiency, because her efficiency was bad up to the end. She cared more about not missing shots than she did about winning the game. It is what it is. Breanna Steward was horrendous yesterday. She was horrendous. People are like, oh, 16, 10, and 4. 33% shooting. She was not good. I don't care about her true shooting. I don't care about her free throws. They lost to the Portland Fire. She was bad. She got cooked by Bridget Carleton. I couldn't do anything on the other end of Bridget Carleton. Like, Bridget Carleton was giving her the business. Like, she was absolutely giving her the business. Bridget Carleton was absolutely destroying her. Crickets. Because people aren't watching these games. Alyssa Thomas was the worst of them all. She was the worst of them all. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is one of these things where she can have a terrible game. And she was absolutely terrible. Like, she didn't look good on defense. She didn't look good in offense. I thought Kiara Linskin's outplayed her. The Phoenix Mercury, like Copper, had some at times didn't look great. Ayayi, I thought, looked better. Fucking DeWanna Bonner looked better than Alyssa Thomas yesterday. She just looked objectively terrible. In all aspects of the game yesterday. It was a terrible game from her. But nothing. You hear nothing about it. And that's the thing. The problem is that when Caitlin Clark has a bad game, all people do is people will say Caitlin Clark's done. And this is 2024 all over again. Because of the All-Star game. When Arike killed it. So therefore Arike is the best player in the world. Therefore Arike is the best player in the world. Because of the All-Star game. Because people only watch the WNBA when Caitlin Clark or Angel Reese play. It's as simple as that. And to be honest, I don't even think people watch games for Angel Reese. People watch lowlights of Angel Reese, and her lowlights always look bad. People don't watch Paige Bueckers play basketball unless it's against Caitlin Clark. People only watch Caitlin Clark games. Therefore, people will only talk about Rhyne Howard based on how she played for USA, which was really good. People only talk about Paige based on how she played against Caitlin. And by the way, she still missed 2 free throws to ice the game. Like, Paige Bueckers has been the least clutch player. Like, you might call her she's the garbage time goat, I guess. She's the garbage time goat. I'm going to call her, she's the GTG of the WNBA. She's the garbage time goat. Like, when it doesn't matter, she's the greatest player in the world. But when it does matter, when another team's coming back, when it's a close game in the fourth, she doesn't want anything to do with shooting the ball. She is the garbage time goat. That is what Paige Bueckers is. But there is a different standard, especially those two. Trying to compare players off nights what Caitlin Clark's career has been. Caitlin Clark averages more points. Has averaged more points. Oh, maybe she hasn't actually. She hasn't. But a healthy Caitlin Clark averages more points per game than Paige Bueckers. I think in their career it's like, what, a half point per game difference? If even. Like, Caitlin Clark scored more points on less shots as rookie than Paige. Stewie doesn't belong. This is the problem is, I'm with you generally as a CC fan, but this doesn't belong. I watched the game. Stewie was complete another dog shit. Like, she was terrible. She was absolutely terrible. I've read Paige made a right shot to end at the end to salvage her efficiency, but 5 of 12 isn't a stinker. These people aren't watching games. Her team was in control, and they lost the game because she refused to look at the basket. She just kept dribbling to the halfway line, passing the ball and running to the corner and not even do it and watching. Like, she pulled a LeBron in 2011. But that's the problem, is that people don't watch basketball games. The reason why Caitlin Clark is held to a different standard is that people watch her games. If nobody watched Caitlin Clark versus Paige Bueckers, people would have saw 25-7 and said this is a fantastic game. Like they saw this, 15 and no turnovers. Man, I literally saw her throw the ball to the other team and they didn't count it as a turnover. Paige Bueckers could dribble the ball off her own foot out of bounds and it would be considered a turnover to the floor. Like, Paige Bueckers has caused multiple team turnovers. As in, she will turn the ball over and it will be given as a Wings team turnover. Like, in the Fever game, she had 1 turnover. 3 times in the game, she came down with a rebound, was trying to lead the break, and someone flicked it out of her hand from behind. 3 times. It got called. One of them got called for turnover. But yeah, it's a crazy thing. And the problem is that the reason why Caitlin gets held to a different standard, and Angel, is that Angel Reese's lowlights go viral, and nobody watches Paige Bueckers games. Nobody watches Paige play. Nobody watches Alyssa Thomas play. Nobody watches Rhyne Howard. People might watch Rhyne Howard play basketball more now because she's on the team with Angel Reese, but nobody watches Rhyne Howard play unless she's playing Caitlin Clark. Nobody watches Breanna Steward play. That is a problem. That is a problem. And Stewie, by the way, has been spectacular up to this point in the season. But she was completely awful last night. Like, she was a major reason they lost the game. And Paige literally lost her team again. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. If Caitlin did what Paige did and pulled a LeBron in 2011 and just passed the ball and ran to the corner and didn't even try. Like, and people are all like, oh, Paige's defense. Paige's defense is as bad as Caitlin. Paige is slow. Like, Caitlin Clark, there's an effort problem. And that has to be fixed. But Paige Bueckers just can't guard anybody. It is definitely more frustrating with Caitlin that she chooses to not play defense. That is clearly more frustrating. And from a coaching perspective, from everything perspective, yes, that is more of a knock on Caitlin Clark than it is on Paige Bueckers. Because Paige Bueckers doesn't choose not to play defense. She just can't. Caitlin chooses not to play defense. Paige just can't guard anybody. She bulked up too much. She can't guard anyone anymore. But yeah, it is what it is. These players had stinkers, but nobody cares. Why? Because people aren't watching the games. Simple as that.